Hello class, this is my week 6 discussion on stakeholder management. The first question is what is stakeholder management? In a project, the stakeholders are determined to be the technical experts that define what needs to be done and how it should be done. Stakeholder management involves the importance to identify who the stakeholders are through a stakeholder register or analyst, plan the stakeholder management, create a plan as a project team, manage stakeholders' engagement through lessons learned and change requests, and control stakeholder engagement, making update changes to the stakeholder register throughout the project. The second question is, why is stakeholder management important? Continuous interactions with stakeholders is important to verify the direction of the project. This is the best way to ensure that you are providing the project that is being asked for by the stakeholders. Expectations might be different for each stakeholder, so it's important that their concerns are heard and their wants are understood. Stakeholder management helps to create and nurture the relationship and partnership between the project team and the stakeholder throughout the project. The next question is, what is the major components of the stakeholder management plan? The major components of the stakeholder management plan is the stakeholder analyst, that's used to identify the stakeholders and their impact or influences, the stakeholder register, which can include their name, title, supervisor, project role, contact information, major requirements and expectations, perspective on the project, and a possible classification. The plan of stakeholder management, how information will be distributed to the stakeholders, and guidelines or measurement tools on how to determine if the guidelines set by the stakeholders are being met. The next question is, what is a stakeholder theory? The stakeholder theory is an idea that proposes that there are many different subgroups of organized management and business ethics that can influence the way the business is ran. Examples are employees, suppliers, local communities, and others. Each stakeholder is looking out for their company, but they understand that sometimes they need to work with other groups to have a successful project. They need to unify their forces and come together as one. The next question is, how has stakeholder management changed? Over the years, there's been many changes in technology, which has helped the planning and tracking of projects. Software is now available to do all of the hard work for you, especially when it comes to budget planning, pulling statistical information. Many hours were spent in the past figuring out all of this with pen and paper. Communication tools have also become more efficient as well, and inclusion of stakeholders has become easier for the fact that they can be included on emails. The next question is, how do organizations perform successful stakeholder management? It's very important to get to know your stakeholders and to use tools to create a good relationship, such as trust, honesty, good communication, interest, sincerity, respect, concern, and sympathy. Feedback is important to receive and give between stakeholders and the project team. The next question is, how do you get stakeholders on your side? I think it's important to create a trusting relationship with all stakeholders. Sometimes it takes doing a good job to gain their needed trust and respect from them. You need to prove yourself. The next question is, what is the best way to deliver bad news to stakeholders? It's important to not mislead. Delegate this responsibility to someone else. Just drop the information or leave them hanging. It's important to do your homework first and make sure the information provided is relevant to that stakeholder. Try to think of possible fixes for the issue and be willing to listen and address their concerns. It's also important to communicate as soon as possible to save time on figuring out a resolution with the stakeholder to the problem. Okay, thank you.